What is up, ladies and gentlemen? It is Cjthecheesedj here, and we are back with another top 6. And today we are taking a look at the top 6 ugliest creatures, in my opinion, in Ark. So kicking off the list at number 1 is the Pigo Mastix, and you can see him on our shoulder here. He's hideous. He's like abnormally disgusting. Like, look at those just random little hairs sitting on the top of his head. They have like no business being there. Like, what actual use do they provide for the Pigo Mastix? I feel like he's like the deterrent people bring along to like scare people out of the club. Like, if we lived in modern times and like dinosaurs was still a thing and like we had these guys as our pets, you'd have like the Jaboa, which people would carry around with them all the time, and then you'd have people that carry around the Pigo Mastix and they just use those because they hate people and want people to get away from them. Like, I feel like that's what this guy is capable of doing. He looks like he's such a deterrent. And he's like, look at his little buck teeth mouth, his little like bottom lip going further than his top lip. He's like so imperfect, but like, to be honest, you gotta kind of love these guys because they obviously have the ability to steal stuff from your enemies. So they're kind of useful, but geez, it doesn't really help them at all in the looks department, does it? Like, look, just look at him. He's hideous. Number 2 on the list is the Diplocallus. Look, no words are needed to this guy. He literally has a semicircle as his head. Like, the poor little dude, he's got the ability to pass on oxygen under the water, but that doesn't help him in the case of having a moon-shaped head. You could almost use his head as a boomerang. Like, if you cut it off at the neck junction and then just decided to lob his head at an enemy, I'm pretty sure it'll come straight back to you like a boomerang. His eyes are on the top of his head, so he can't even see what he's eating if it's underneath him or anything like that. And he's just like short, fat, and really stumpy legs. Like, look at the size of him. Like, let's just do a lie down comparison here. I'm pretty sure we should be able to get on top of him. Let's just toggle the HUD for a moment here so we can see what we're doing. Try and get on top of him, and I'm sure, okay, you know what? That's not going to work. Let's just do it like this. So I'm sure he'll actually be fatter than us, which is kind of a thing. There you go. You can see there. Look at the comparison between us. Our nice, slimlined, muscular body next to the fat heifer of a Diplocallus. Look how tubby he is. He's ridiculously ugly, and he's number 2 on this list. Number 3 on the list is everyone's favorite pooper, the Porphyonia. Now, this guy, I mean, he's kind of... I was a bit half on this guy being on the list. I kind of find him kind of cute. I mean, not cute as in a, like, oh, look, there's a cute girl walking by kind of thing, but, like, you're, like, I don't know, like, the chubby little pig that you find in the yard that's all alone. That's what this guy kind of reminds me of. Although, his looks definitely don't do him any favors. Yes, and I think he knows he's ugly. Like, look at his snout. That is scary. And his little front teeth that just come out. Like, what purpose do those actually have? Are you just going to, like, dig through the ground to get your seeds? I mean, geez, these guys probably didn't have any friends back when they were actually alive in the prehistoric times because everyone was too scared to come up to them because of how ugly they look. I feel like today, this video is just like a full-on roast on all the ugly dinos in Ark. I kind of feel bad about it, but at the same time, I'm kind of like, well, maybe if the devs spend a little bit more time just prettying you up, they wouldn't have avoided this video, wouldn't they, big guy? Yeah, and you know it to be true. Look at me. You're looking into my eyes with such deep knowing, even though they're just like black pits of nothingness. Look at those eyes. Just nothingness is located within them. So the Porphyonia is number 3 on this list, and he's got really clunky thunder thighs. I feel like his thighs are really thunky, and his poor little tail just does nothing for him. Only time it does something is when it lifts up his tail to poop, and we all know we love ourselves some Porphyonia poop. Gives us with the ability to craft all the fertilizer we need, but the poor guy, he's got nothing going for him other than that. Number 4 on the list is the Paraceratherium, otherwise known as the penis giraffe. Now, if we stand back here, you'll notice why. You kind of get the gist of things. It looks like a penis, like, let's be real here, and look at his dopey, sleepy eyes, like... Oh, poor Paraceratherium, what have the devs done to you? I feel so bad for him. He's pretty much the upgraded version of the Porphyonia, and he's just got a longer neck and a derpier looking face. Like, look at that face. Now, I kind of don't find him ugly in, like, the general sense of terms. I kind of find him looking silly more than anything. I don't think he's that ugly. I mean, he's got a kind of well-rounded body. His legs aren't huge and thunky like the Porphyomias are. They're actually sculpted really well. I must say, you got beautiful legs, Mr. Paraceratherium. I'm going to call you Noodle now. Noodle, the Paraceratherium. But, like... Look how derpy his face is. It is hands down one of the derpiest faces that you will ever find on any of the creatures in Ark. It's absolutely hilarious. This guy is so cute. But he's so silly looking. Okay, you can stop looking at me now. You're kind of freaking me out, big guy. But he's known as the penis giraffe. And when he waddles, we're just going to make him waddle here. He looks even more funny. It's just, I can't get over this guy and how silly he looks. Like, I honestly think the devs need to do like a resketch of some of these guys and just give them a little bit more to work with. And look at him wobble on the spot. Like, he's got to move his legs in all weird kind of directions. He doesn't even bend them. It doesn't even look like he bends them. He just kind of moves them, shuffles them along the ground almost. I feel sorry for the guy, but you know, you got to give him credits for trying. He's just here doing his own little thing on Ark. Number 5 on the list is just look at him, the Bulbdog. I actually don't find this guy cute whatsoever. I think he's hands down the ugliest shoulder mount that you can get in Aberration. Look at his huge eyes. They are unnecessarily big. You know what the funny thing is? Normally you associate big eyes with creatures that live in the dark, but these guys are all located in the upper areas of Aberration, so they don't even really need their big ugly eyes like that. But just look at him looking around. He's really gross. He's kind of like the mixture of a dog and an anglerfish, hence why he's called the Bulbdog, and his teeth are really gross and grotesque looking as well. I don't appreciate this guy one bit, but this one's just going to be a quick one on the Bulbdog. He's number 5 on this list. Number 6 is the Roll Rat. If you guys have ever seen a naked mole rat in like the zoos or in nature or anything, these guys come close to a very close second to them. The Roll Rats are probably the long distances of the naked mole rats, and just look at them. Look at their buck teeth. I think it's actually the buck teeth and like the way their skin's laid out. I think it's supposed to like resemble wrinkles or something. It doesn't do them any favors whatsoever. They look absolutely hideous. And you know, their face is probably the worst part of it all. Just look at him. He's horrible. He's definitely one of the uglier creatures on Ark. Now, lucky number 7 on the list is the Daydon, the Hell Pig, otherwise known. Now, we were kind of considering putting this guy on, kind of not considering putting him on. We decided to add him to the list because he is still one of the uglier creatures out of the other creatures. Out of the 120 creatures in Ark, he's still one of the uglier ones. Although we were half tempted to put him on or the Seeker. And we decided to go with the Daydon because the Seeker, you know, you can't really tame them up. You kind of just see them in the wild, all that. So you wouldn't see them as often. But the Daydon is the poor little pig. He's much like the Porphyonia. His jaw looks very disproportionate. His teeth kind of like stick out uglily. And, you know, that's a new word we've just come up with, uglily. So, definitely not having any favors for the Daydon. I kind of feel sorry for him though, because the poor guy didn't ask for it, much like the other creatures. He's just kind of here doing his own little thing. He's kind of like the Porphyonia and the Paraceratherium mixed in together. But, yeah, look at the guy. He's kind of cute. He's kind of ugly though. You can just imagine running your actual hand over this and getting all the, like, running over the leathery skin and getting, like, the little bits of hair in between your fingers. It's kind of gross. But yeah, definitely the Daydon is number 7 on this list. And that'll pretty much conclude this list for today, guys. Let me know what you thought of it down below. Hopefully you enjoyed it. If you can think of any other creatures that you think are ugly, make sure to put them down in the comments below. But other than that, thanks very much for watching, and I will catch you in the next one.